Here's the biggest problem in the education industry in Bangladesh. There are no trained teachers. So how can we teach a child without having an education degree?
It's just degree as I'm a teacher হয়ে গেলাম একটা জায়গায়
The current government should come up with a policy like, you need to have masters in education.
Let's say if I was the headmaster of a school, what I would do is at the school I would introduce like a specific course. What do you think are the qualities that makes a good teacher a great teacher? Like, what do you think separates that?
Awareness. You have to be aware what the student wants or what the child wants, okay? And also, I need to know a bit about your background, which family you come from, what's your financial capability, where did you go which school did you go as a student, okay? I need to know a lot about you. And then I need to pitch my lesson based on that, right? And in a classroom, you have 15 students and all those students are very different from each other. Everyone has a different challenge, different background. So how do you teach them in a classroom who are completely different to each other, but make sure your learning material is relevant? That's where the challenge is. And that's what my master's in education taught me. Okay, or CELTA taught me when I did my English degree at Cambridge. That's what they taught me, right? So I think it's awareness, small things. For example, the other day I was teaching in the university and I knew, right? In the first minute, I knew that this particular way that I was teaching was not working. So I just shifted. Okay. Because I was teaching in a very creative way.
Yeah.
I think students were not connecting to it, so I just went to old school teaching.
Yeah, sometimes that relatability matters a lot.
Yes. Here's the biggest problem in the education industry in Bangladesh. There are no trained teachers. We do not have good teachers. So
it's just degree as I'm a teacher হয়ে গেলাম একটা জায়গা নিয়ে, right?
Yeah. So for example, would you operate yourself under someone who does not have an MBBS degree, a doctor?
No.
Never, right?
Yeah.
So how can we teach a child or children without having an education degree? Okay, because we're going to impact their lives.
I think a lot of our teachers, especially A levels and O levels and let's say below, either আসলে কোনো certification or কোনো proper licensing নাই that you're valid to be a teacher.
I think here we lack in policies. And I hope
regulation as well.
I think the current government should come up with a policy like, you need to have masters in education, or you need to somewhat do a course run by the government, or you could do a course in one of the affiliated universities, and then you can become a teacher.
I think one of the biggest impacts that every student has is, যেরকম for example আমি আমার স্কুলটাকে example হিসেবে use করি. So BIT তে যেরকম when they're hiring teachers, right? They're hiring people who have just graduated from university, which is completely fine. But I think the মানুষটা university থেকে graduate করছে, or capability in terms of psychology and understanding student behaviors, dealing with complex and chaotic situations of whatever happens inside the classroom, setting the right goals for the students. এই জিনিসটাকে কিভাবে মিটিগেট করতে হয় বা ইভেন ডিল করতে হয় in the first place, এই লার্নিংটা কিন্তু সেই গ্র্যাজুয়েটার নাই.
No. Because no one knows that there is undergraduate degree in education and teaching. I did masters in education and teaching.
এটা অফার করে?
Of course, you can go to BRAC. BRAC has a great institute of education. Okay. I don't know if I don't think North South has a education department, but BRAC
has.
Yeah. And so if you want to become a teacher, you have to do that degree, and those degrees, they teach you how to, control children, how to plan your lesson, what to say, what not to say, how to handle a emotionally challenged kid, right?
Yeah.
So we do not have good teachers.
Let's say if I was the headmaster of a school, really sorry, অনেক rant যাচ্ছে, but let's say if I was, what I would do is at a school I would introduce like a specific clubs, to develop athletes. It's something that should be common, life skills, communication, public speaking skills. Then there should be conscience. There are students who grow up, do drugs, end up doing a lot of bad stuff. That's because school conscience bole kono ekta jinish build kora hoy na. I don't see a single chapter in my school after class 5 that talks about conscience. You cannot build conscience at a class 5 student to do because he is not mature enough to understand. Class 9, 10, these are shaping, these are time when you shape a student, you mold
Correct.
them for the future. So each time the conscience is very important. But এটা কিন্তু বিল্ড করা হয় না, দ্য রাইট রং বা অ্যাকচুয়ালি লাইফের পার্সপেক্টিভটা কি হওয়া উচিত, পারপাস কি, স্টুডেন্টস আর লস্ট। অ্যান্ড এখানে একটা হিউজ রিসার্চ ড্রেন হচ্ছে। অ্যান্ড এই স্টুডেন্টগুলো দেয়ার লাইক দেশে কিছু করার নাই, এই নাই। এখানে স্কুলের একটা সমস্যা আছে, স্কুলরা কিন্তু চাইলেই অপরচুনিটি ক্রিয়েট করতে পারে। বাংলাদেশে যদি টপ 10 স্কুলস একসাথে যদি কোলাবরেট করে একটা আইভি লিগের মতো আসে যেখানে আমরা অ্যাথলিট ডেভেলপ করব, তখন কি হচ্ছে যে অ্যাটলিস্ট যারা এখন হইতেই পারে যে আমি একটা, আমার খেলতে ভালো লাগে, আমার পড়তে ভালো লাগে না, বাট ডাজন্ট মিন যে আই এম আ ব্যাড স্টুডেন্ট, ইটস জাস্ট মাই স্পেশালাইজেশন ইজ
Exactly.